Once upon a time, in the bustling heart of Lagos, lived a young woman named Ada. She was a vision of modern beauty, with skin that glowed like polished bronze and hair braided into an intricate crown, always adorned with the latest tech-infused accessories. Her clothes were the pinnacle of Afrofuturist fashion, fabrics that shifted in color with her mood and her apartment. A high-tech marvel overlooking the glittering city was filled with every imaginable gadget. Ada was the only daughter of a tech mogul and a renowned fashion designer, and they worshipped the ground she walked on. They provided her with a life of unimaginable ease, a world of automated everything and instant gratification. Yet, for all her parents' success and love, Ada was known for one defining trait: her profound and technologically assisted laziness. Ada's life was a seamless flow of automated comfort. Her smart bed would gently wake her not with an alarm, but with a simulated sunrise and the scent of freshly brewed Ethiopian coffee delivered by a drone. A robotic arm would select her outfit for the day. Another would style her hair, and her meals were 3 deep-printed gourmet dishes tailored to her fleeting cravings. She spent her days scrolling through holographic social feeds, binge-watching the latest series on her wall-size screen, and taking artfully curated selfies in her perfectly lit apartment. She had no need to learn, to strive, or to work. Her world was a comfortable, self-contained, and utterly stagnant bubble. Her parents, though they had built this gilded cage for her, began to worry. They saw a daughter with no ambition, no skills, and no understanding of the world outside her automated sanctuary. What will become of her when we are no longer here to fund this lifestyle? Her father would murmur to his wife. They decided on a plan, a drastic measure to awaken their daughter from her digital slumber. They called Ada into their minimalist art-filled study. Her father, his face etched with concern, transferred a huge sum of digital currency to her personal account. "Ada," he said, his voice firm but kind, "this is for you. We are taking a long off-grid sabbatical. This money is your responsibility now. Learn to manage it, to live with it, to grow with it. It's time you learned to stand on your own 2 feet." But Ada heard only one part: a huge sum of money. A delightful grin spread across her face. Independence. Responsibility. Those words were just noise. What she saw was an opportunity to upgrade her laziness to an even more luxurious level. Instead of using the money to invest, learn a skill, or even maintain her current lifestyle responsibly, she went on a technological spending spree. She hired a team of personal life curators. One was paid an exorbitant fee simply to manage her social media presence, creating an illusion of a vibrant, active life. Another was hired to program her home's AI for even more personalized, trivial comforts. She even hired a professional gamer to play online games for her, so she could reap the social rewards without the effort of playing. Her days became an even more elaborate performance of leisure. She'd spend hours in a virtual reality spa, have drone-delivered lunches from the most exclusive restaurants in Abuja and Accra, and host lavish virtual parties where she barely interacted with her digital guests. Her life was a spectacle of consumption, a hollow existence disguised with the latest filters and flashiest gadgets. Her friends, or rather her online followers, envied her perfect life, unaware that it was all a paid-for illusion. She saw her digital currency balance as an infinite resource, a magical well that would never run dry. Time, however, moves forward for everyone, even for those who pay to stand still. The steady drain of her account, once a torrent, slowed to a trickle. The high-end life curators and subscription services were expensive. One morning, Ada tried to order a custom-designed gown for a virtual gala, but the transaction was declined. A cold knot of dread formed in her stomach. She checked her account, her fingers trembling slightly as she navigated the holographic interface. The number staring back at her was shockingly small. Panic began to set in. She had ignored the low balance warnings for weeks, dismissing them as glitches. Now, the reality was undeniable. She was nearly broke. The first to go was her social media curator. "I'm sorry, Ada, but payment has been declined." The message read cold and impersonal. Her vibrant online world, once filled with curated perfection, fell silent. Next, her home AI reverted to its basic factory settings. The pleasant, customized voice was gone, the automated conveniences ceased, and the apartment suddenly felt cold and foreign. Her personal shopper, her gourmet meal service, her VR spa, subscription one by one, they all stopped. The digital empire she had built on a foundation of her parents' money crumbled into digital dust. She was left alone, truly alone, in the silent high-tech shell of her apartment. Her cupboards, which once held 3 deep-printed delicacies, were now bare. The smart fridge, which used to automatically reorder groceries, now only displayed a red mocking error message. Insufficient funds. For the first time in her life, Ada felt hunger real, gnawing emptiness that no virtual snack could fill. She didn't know how to cook. She didn't even know how to order simple groceries without her premium apps. Her luxurious life was gone, and she was left stranded in its wreckage, a stranger in her own home. She sank onto her plush designer sofa, the shifting colors of the fabric now a dull, unchanging gray. She was too lazy, too overwhelmed, and too frightened to even think about what to do next. The glittering city outside her window seemed to mock her, a world of life and energy she had never learned to be a part of. Days turned into a week of misery. Ada sold some of her designer clothes and gadgets for a pittance, just to buy simple food packs she barely knew how to prepare. The beautiful apartment became messy and cluttered. Dust gathered on the silent robotic helpers. One evening, as she sat listlessly, her reflection in the dark, powered-down wall screen showed a stranger. The glowing skin was dull, her eyes were hollow, and the confident pout was replaced by a look of despair. It was in that moment, seeing her own pathetic state, that something inside her finally snapped. A flicker of her parent spirit, the drive of the mogul and the creativity of the designer sparked to life within her. She couldn't live like this. She wouldn't. With a resolve she never knew she possessed, Ada got up. She started with the smallest task, cleaning her apartment. It was hard, exhausting work. Her muscles ached, and her hands, once soft and manicured, became rough. But with every surface she scrubbed, she felt a layer of her own inertia being wiped away. She started watching free online tutorials, not for entertainment, but for survival. She learned basic coding to try and fix her home's AI. She learned to cook simple meals, burning the first few attempts, but slowly getting the hang of it. Each small success was a victory, a taste of a satisfaction she had never known the pride of accomplishment. Remembering a young man named Judd, a brilliant but struggling programmer she had once dismissed at a tech conference, she swallowed her pride and found his contact information. Judd was kind and humble, living a simple life dedicated to creating meaningful technology. He was surprised to hear from her, but listened patiently to her story. He didn't mock her. Instead, he saw the spark of desperation in her eyes and offered her a chance. He was developing an educational app for underprivileged children in rural areas and needed help with user interface design. "I can't pay you much," he said, "just a small stipend. But you will learn." Ada accepted gratefully. The work was challenging. She had to learn design principles, user experience, and how to work as part of a team. She worked long hours, fueled by cheap noodles and a burning desire to prove herself. Judd was a patient teacher, and under his guidance, Ada discovered a hidden talent. She had an innate sense of style and aesthetics, inherited from her mother, which she now applied with a work ethic she was forging herself. She wasn't just designing an app. She was helping to build a bridge to a better future for others. She felt a sense of purpose, a love for her work, and a budding affection for the kind, brilliant man who had believed in her. Months passed. Ada transformed. She was no longer defined by the clothes she wore or the gadgets she owned, but by the work she did and the person she was becoming. She and Judd grew closer, their late-night work sessions filled with shared dreams and quiet laughter. One day, a message appeared on her screen. It was from her parents. "We are coming home." When they walked into her apartment, they were stunned. It was clean and modest. The extravagant gadgets were gone, replaced by sketches, design boards, and books. And their daughter, she was radiant. Her skin glowed not from expensive treatments, but from health and happiness. Her eyes shone with intelligence and passion. She greeted them with a warm embrace and proudly showed them the app she had helped create. Her parents' eyes filled with tears of joy. This was the daughter they had always hoped for, strong, independent, and full of love. Ada had lost all her money, but in doing so, she had finally found her true self, and in the love she shared with Judd and the purpose she found in her work, she discovered a richness that no amount of money could ever buy.